Okay, welcome to another episode of Homestead Shop Talk podcast with Al from Lumina Acres, Ben from Holler Homestead, and myself, Jason from Sold Land. And this is episode 103. One more, and we'll be at it for 2 years.
Crazy,
Crazy.
And we're halfway through the year now.
right?
So time keeps going fast forward, I think.
I know, June.
Yeah,
All right.
no, I know. So how you guys been?
Good.
Sweaty.
I
Very
was,
sweaty.
I was still wearing a sweater over here.
Right. I got my sweatshirt on.
See, now's the season. Now, right at this time of season is when Al makes fun of us.
Right. I mean, I'd like some warmer weather, but we
Yeah.
had, but yeah, I'm trying to, what's the temperature right now? 62 degrees out right now. Supposed to get
Oh,
down to
that's beautiful.
perfect weather right now.
Oh man.
Yep.
I think I took 2 showers already today.
Wait,
I
how
need
much
Three.
time?
Yeah. Three
Yeah.
if you count this me just sweating out there.
Yeah, it was no joke today. What time did you come in, Jason, to finally cool down?
I just came in at 6:30.
Oh,
I
you're
jumped
cutting
in
it
the
close.
shower right before I got on right because I was soaked. I was feeding everybody and then I was like, I'm gonna jump in the shower real quick and I made it, but
I think me and the boys were in by 3:30. We started working on the deck at 7:30, and it was actually really nice until about noon when we lost all of our shade. Oh my gosh. At one point, one of the boys started laughing. He's like, "Hey, Dad, you sweated a smiley face on your shirt." I looked down. Sure enough,
yeah,
it was hot.
it's just really humid out. I don't know.
What was the high today you guys had?
It
I
was,
don't think I didn't have my phone on me all day. I was busy working. I never
I
walked
thought it was
by a
80s.
thermometer. Yeah, it
80.
was I had seen the forecast was going to be like 87, but I don't know what it actually got up to. I
We
saw
had
the greenhouse was like 103, so it was pretty warm.
we had that a few days this week. I'm trying to think what was it Thursday, Friday? And the day before we were like 38 degrees in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, here it's like 86 right now. I'm like, and yesterday it was 38. Come on, guys. It's just
I
crazy.
Make your mind whether.
Yep.
mean, it's fine when you're just standing there.
Right.
As long as you're not moving, it's like beautiful,
Yep.
but that's not reality.
So it sounds like you started working on the house, Ben.
You know what? I got one day last week to work on it, and then everything else just kind of took away from it. I got to work on it today. I'm planning on working on it the rest of the week, assuming the rain holds out, but time will tell.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about your week, man?
All right, we'll just
Keep
jump
going.
into it. So, like I said, there was a whole bunch of like underneath the deck stuff I had to do. Like we had to really, really bad planning on my part. So there's all sorts of what are they called? Rafter ties that we had to put underneath the deck. And the inspector told me what kind of nails he wanted me to use, and half of those nails won't fit in my nail gun. They're 3.5 inch long nails.
Hmm.
So we bought a whole bunch of nails, and we all have been swinging hammers.
Oh man.
Well, this is a whole bunch of these rafter ties. I think there's 10 nails per rafter tie, and then we have 52 of the joists. So there's three of those per joist. And so the only ones that are comfortable are the outside most uh, ties because you get to stand all the way up because of the height of having the hill.
Yep.
But then the other two places we had to put them in, you're on your knees underneath this deck swinging a hammer. So the way it worked out, poor planning on my part, was that morning, me and the boys did, I believe it was chest and back was our workout in the morning. And then we swung hammers all day. And we literally, like, it took us all day. We probably went through 2,000 nails. I mean, it was a bunch. We all had blisters. We're all like doing all those pull-ups and push-ups and then swinging a hammer all day. Like we were wrecked by the end of the day.
Wow.
And as I'm looking at the blisters on my hands forming, I was like, "Uh-oh, we're cutting hay tomorrow. What have I done? This was very poor planning." So, yeah, we went into cutting hay the next day because looking at the forecast, it was like, hey, we're supposed to have clear weather the entire week. I think the forecast was for Thursday was our first chance of rain. Well, all day Monday while we're working on the deck, it was like a symphony. I don't know if it was that way up where you live, Jason, but around here, every single neighbor that cuts hay was out. There's tractors driving up and down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, every neighbor I have that does hay was out cutting hay. And it was like, wow, I guess everybody else has been watching that forecast. Because for real, we haven't had 2 days that it hasn't rained in like a month and a half, 2 months. And so, that's all I need. I need like 2 solid days of dry, sunny weather. I can cut in the morning, uh, tether it by the end of the day, turn it and flip it. And then the next day, it'll be dry enough I can bale it at the end of the second day. Well, we cut hay on Tuesday morning. We started at the crack of dawn. We're cutting hay by hand with scythes. Uh, we've looked forward to this all year long. Uh,
Like
but
Christmas.
it was like Christmas. Like the boys, the older three boys bought their own European scythes just so they could do this. Like that's how strongly, like these are teenage boys. At 18, were you wanting to buy a European scythe so you could cut hay by hand? I know I wasn't.
No.
So they got their scythes. Everybody's, trying to get all skilled up before we cut hay. So, yeah, we get out there, we're cutting hay. Our friend Brian came and filmed for us, which took a huge amount of stress off me because it is so hard to work a little bit and then stop and then go move the camera and then work a little bit more. And he flew the drone for us. So, I don't know about anybody else, but I love drone footage. Like, I just love drone footage. And so he did a really good job getting all these shots that are physically impossible for me to get because if I'm holding the controller of a drone, I am not holding a scythe. So it was cool.
Yeah.
So we got it all. I think I had mapped it out and, just using Google Earth. And you can't really see the property line very well on Google Earth because the trees kind of block where it's at. And so I came up with about a half an acre that we were cutting. Meg actually got into the GIS and looked it up. Like she plotted it exactly where we cut hay, and it was 0.68 of an acre is how much we cut by hand. So a little over 5/8 of an acre, almost 3/4 of an acre. Um, Last year, I would say we probably only cut a little less than half an acre. But last year, we got it all cut in 3 hours. Um, Way less grass. The grass wasn't as mature. We were able to cut it almost almost a month earlier than we were this year. Well, part of the hang up was this year everything had gone to seed and a lot of those, heavy seed heads, all the grass had fallen down. And so you have wet, dewy grass that's laying down. It was a bear to try to scythe because it keeps wanting to tangle up your scythe. Um, and so it basically makes it so you have to take little bitty steps when you're cutting, so you don't get too big of a bite. That drastically slowed us down. Um, but yeah, we knocked off at 11 because it was getting too hot, and then came back out that night and finished the bottoms. And then it rained. It rained. It sprinkled that night, which not the end of the world. Um, the next night, like next afternoon, that would have been Wednesday, it rained pretty good. We actually went out in the middle of the day Wednesday and it was dry enough. We tethered it. So that's turning it over, fluffing it. Um, and everything that we had cut the previous morning was pretty much ready. So we went ahead and we picked all that up and I was able to finish the video, but the other half of the hay, it was not ready. Like it was still green and still smelled like fresh cut grass rather than nice, delicious, sweet hay. So I had to let it sit. That's pretty much going to be the theme of my week is hay. I feel like that's all I've worried about all week. So, uh, rained Wednesday night and then it rained all day Thursday, like most of the day Thursday. So we get up Thursday and I can't work on the house. I can't go deal with hay. I needed some stuff from Home Depot because I can't get it at Lowe's. And there's a Home Depot in any direction an hour away. So I told Meg, I was like, hey, I need to go to Home Depot. And she's like, road trip? I was like, you want to go? She's like, heck yes, road trip in the rain. That sounds great. Nothing else to do today. So we all pile up. Everybody wanted to go. So we pile up in the excursion and we drove down to Spartanburg and did our shopping, came out, got in the truck. We're climbing on, getting the kids, the littles in their car seats, and I reach in there to start it to get the AC running, and it just goes nothing. Just sits and turns over and nothing. No start. I was like, what the heck? So I went, turn around. I guess I got to back up. My mechanic is actually in a small town in between us and uh, this Home Depot. And as we were driving by the mechanic, I turned to Meg. I was like, oh, I haven't seen my mechanic in like 2 years. I almost feel like I should stop and say hi. Then we get to Home Depot and
Your wish is granted.
your wish is granted. So I called my mechanic while I'm sitting there. I was like, hey, any suggestions? Like, there's no codes, there's no check engine light. Like, what's the deal? And they're like, try a spray and ether. Maybe that'll start. So I walk into Home Depot, I grab a can of ether, I come back out, spray it in there, and it did not like that. I don't know. It made weird noises that I've never heard before. Noises a diesel is not supposed to make. So called back the mechanic. I was like, yeah, not working. Can't get it started. You got a spot open? They're like, yeah, bring it on down. So arranged for a ride. Our friends came and picked us up, and I got a tow truck and got it towed up to the mechanic's shop. And they're like, well, yeah, we have a spot, but it's going to be a week. So continued on home, came home in the rain, left the truck at the mechanics. Yeah, it's one heck of a Thursday. That little trip to Home Depot cost us the entire day.
Wow. It's still
So we
there?
went. It's still there. I haven't heard anything, but I mean that was only a couple days ago, and the weekend was in between
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah.
So Friday, oh yeah, we had some stuff going on Friday that kind of ate up the day. I'm not going to share it, but it was another one of those days lost kind of thing where you're just messing with all kinds of stuff you didn't plan. Uh, we finally got back to the hay. Yesterday, it was nice and sunny. Like Saturday, I think it rained Saturday again. I went and borrowed my neighbor's tedder for his tractor because he cuts hay, and I didn't want to go tedder all this, almost probably 3/8 of an acre, uh, just to have it rain. So I went and borrowed my neighbor's tedder, went out there, tethered all this hay. Took me like 15 minutes, whereas it takes us like an hour and a half to do it by hand. Uh, then I think it rained again, so we came out and we actually tethered it again by hand. That's how I know it takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So finally, yesterday afternoon, it was like starting to smell like hay. It was starting to dry out. So we turned it into big windrows by hand, and I was able to come along with the grapple on the tractor and push it all up into a big bite and grab it with the tractor. And we made a massive haystack. This haystack is as high as I could reach with the tractor. And then once I couldn't, actually lift up there and dump it because the pile was so high, the boys got up on this haystack and they would unload it with hay forks. So at one point before they had been climbing all over it, it was probably like 4 or 5 feet above our stanchion, which has an 8 foot roof. So this was like a 15-foot tall haystack. But, of course, young boys and all that, they're like, look at this awesome slide. And so they'd climb up on top of it and slide off of it and all that stuff. So it's considerably less tall, but
Yeah.
yeah, bunch of hay.
It
I would
looks
say
huge.
we probably did 4 times the hay that we did last year.
Wow.
And we only cut maybe not even a quarter acre more this year. So I think it was because we had to wait so long to cut hay, it just got that much thicker. Um, Man, bunch of hay. Felt really good getting it all, stacked up. Glad to be done. This year I will not be trying to get a second cutting. Last year I tried to get a second cutting and the Hurricane Helene came through and it ruined basically everything in the bottom because there was so much water moving through. I don't know if you've ever seen something get flooded, like a hayfield get flooded. Basically, the hay is just muddy, and trying to scythe it because there's so much like clay stuck to all the grass. One swing and your blade's instantly dull. So I ended up having to get the mower out and mow all that grass, which is kind of a bummer. But I think that's why I had so many more weeds in the bottoms this year was because I tried to tried to get a second cutting last year and it ended up all just going to seed anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much my week. It was a ton of hay and a lot
So
of
like,
rain.
so step one would be just to cut it down with the scythe, right?
You wanna step by step how to make hay
Yeah,
by
just
hand?
like real quick, like just step one, like doing it by hand, like
Okay.
with no machines.
So step one is you cut it. You get out there, enjoy the beautiful nature sounds. Get out there first thing in the morning when it's cool and dewy.
Shoes
Then
or no
after,
shoes?
you don't have to take your shoes off. My advice, if you don't go barefoot on the regular, don't try to go barefoot. Um, I actually have a whole bunch of stab wounds all over my feet from going barefoot. Last year it was fine, but this year because the grass was so much woodier and mature, you cut it and then you're stepping on what you just cut, and it's like thousands of little, needles sticking up. So yeah, maybe wear some light shoes, comfortable shoes. So you cut it and then you just leave it in the sun. You don't want rain. Like ideally, it's nice and hot and dry. Um, you just let it sit and the scythe book. If you are to no affiliation here, but if you order from scythesupply.com and you order the outfit, they'll send you the scythe book and it talks about making hay by hand. And they say like, how do you tell when it's ready? Well, just use your nose. When the yeah, you got it too. See? Yeah, Jason's got the scythe book. I wonder
Happened to
where you
be
got your
ready.
scythe.
Yeah.
So, use your nose. When you mow it, it smells like you just mowed the lawn, like it's that nice grass smell, that chlorophyll smell. And then as it starts drying out, it starts smelling like hay. It has that real sweet hay smell that fresh cut hay has. So you just wait until it's dry. You can go out and turn it over if you want it to dry faster. Um, it's unnecessary if you've got nice dry weather, but we choose to usually we'll cut in the morning and then that evening, if it's been hot and dry, we go turn it over just by hand with pitchforks. You just grab it and flip it over. Um, the nice thing about cutting by hand, if you're cutting in a straight line, it's going to be windrowed, so it's really easy to turn that windrow over. And then at the end of the second day, we just come along and we get a wagon and we just all me and all the boys pick it all up, throw it in the wagon, and then you store it wherever you're going to store it. You either make a haystack. I put it under our milking stanchion because it's a roof
So
and
do
we're not
you,
using it for
so
anything.
you just basically just stack it in a big pile. You don't have to like lay it a certain way or nothing. Just
Not that
stack it.
we've not that we've found. I had a little bit of hay left over from last year that I had to move out of the stanchion so we could put this hay. And I thought it was, once it gets rained on, it really washes a lot of the nutrition out of it. Um, you want your hay to have kind of a greenish color, like a green silver color, instead of like a yellow straw color. So uh, I pulled all this stuff out of the stanchion that was all yellow, and in the middle of it, it's still green, and it still smells like hay. It's not moldy. Now this stuff, I don't know. The stuff we picked up that we filmed is probably going to be really, really good hay because it dried properly. It was ready. The stuff that got rained on for the better part of a week, I don't know. I don't have real high hopes. You can keep a haystack outside. That's like people have been doing it for thousands of years.
Like not
Um,
undercover.
yeah, don't tarp it. If you pitch the hay up on top of this hay pile, the way it lands, it will naturally shed water. And so you'll know, like you get in there to get animal feed and you pull off that yellow stuff on the outside and there'll be beautiful green stuff, 2 inches into the haystack. So yeah, it's super simple.
So you could just Stack it outside. Okay. Yeah,
Or
interesting to try it.
if you have a giant mega barn that has a hayloft, I mean, you could pitch it up there.
Oh, I see.
Nudge, nudge.
I did actually my barn does it used to have a bunch of hay in there that we took out.
Now you got to put some in it.
I know. Cool, man. Yeah, thanks for doing a step-by-step play.
Like I'm some kind of expert. I've done it twice, and it's on the internet, so I'm an expert now.
And you've read the book by the sounds of it.
There
Yes,
you
I
go.
have. I
There you
have
go.
read the book.
Does that mean we're getting old? We're talking about hay.
The
You know, I
weather.
don't, I don't, I don't care if that makes me old. I
Weather and hay.
enjoy doing hay. Like it is so much fun. Now
Yeah,
I want to try doing it the mechanized way. Maybe not here, like maybe go help a neighbor or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool because
that would be fun.
it's just cool. Like you just drive around and make hay bales. Like that's cool.
Sounds fun, but I don't
I'm
know.
gonna find out this week. I'll let you know.
That's right, Al.
So are you cutting your hay this week, Al?
I'm hoping to. We got all of our hay and equipment in the weather right now. Looks like we're gonna have 3 good days, but that could change.
Yep.
A lot of people around here haven't hayed, and if they are haying, they're making haylage.
You want to explain what haylage is?
So haylage is you don't let it dry all the way. You bale it and then you wrap it up in an individual round bale, or you can put in like a big sock and squish a bunch of them in there. And I think you gotta let it ferment for like 4 to 6 weeks before you can feed it out. But I know some people like it and some people don't. So I don't know, like Joel Salatin, I don't think he's a fan of it for cows. And that's one of the things I would like to pick his brain about. Like, why doesn't he like haylage for cows? I've heard him talk about it before, and he's like, they want to do it for pigs, but not for cows. So I don't know. But
I
I know
know,
again,
I know pigs will eat the heck out of silage bales.
even
They're pretty sticky and nasty.
yeah, I mean, even the cows will. They'll eat so much more of it, and a lot less of it goes to waste versus regular dry hay.
So you plan on just doing the haying yourself, just by yourself?
Yep, that's the plan.
I mean, you just hook up the machines, right, and just drive
Yeah,
around.
I'm just gonna mow it, then we'll let it sit, ted it, rake it, and then bale it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I'm sure you'll do all right. You got all
I-
the equipment.
yeah, I'm sure the first time will probably be the worst.
As long as it doesn't rain on everybody's parade. There are so many sad farmers around here that have just had rain on their fresh cut hay for a week.
Yep.
And then, they like my neighbor's currently out there baling right now and it's raining. So
There's gonna be a lot of mulch hay down your way, you saying?
probably.
Yep. That's what I figure. Worst case scenario, I'll have hay for bedding.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel about it.
And then hopefully we'll have a good second crop. Maybe we'll have some better weather later in the year. But so I know, yeah, not many people that's have cut here. I think that's crazy that you guys are just cutting down there because your hay's probably at least a month ahead of ours.
We should have cut like a month and a half, 2 months ago,
Okay.
honestly. Like ours was ready because we were all talking about it. It's like, hey, look at the hay, it's ready. And then we just haven't had 2 days to rub together.
Yep. Now, can they make like your neighbors? Does it take them 2 days or 3 days to make their hay down there?
Uh, Usually it's about the same time. It's 2 days.
Okay.
But it depends on the neighbor. Some neighbors are like, leave it for a couple days.
Yep. Here they figure about 3 days to do it up here, at least this time of the year.
So what else, Al? What'd you get into?
So we had our Azalea, I should say, had her calf
Oh,
on
fun.
Sunday morning.
About time.
Yeah. It was actually on her due date.
Wow.
That's funny.
Yep. On her due date. We went out, did our morning chores, and we could see a little mucus. And I'm like, all right, we'll come back out in a little bit. We went back in the house, we had breakfast, and then she was moving along, keep an eye on her. She was lying down. The mucus sac was bigger, and then you could see 2 feet, and then it'd come out a little bit further, and the red sac came out, and
So
I think
you're able to see it?
yeah, we watched maybe not nine. We watched probably about 75% of it because so she got the 2 feet out, and then we saw the knees, and then I think she stood up. And when she stood up, it kind of like everything went backwards. So like the calf went back in, and then it took her. Then she started to get it back to where it was, coming out a little bit further. We saw its nose and stuff like that, and then it would go back in. So we called the vet. The vet's like, yeah, that's normal. If they were lying down and started doing that, when they stand up, gravity takes over, and you kind of got to like start the whole process again. They're like, basically, you want if you don't see like a change within 30 minutes of each progression, then you got something to worry about. But other than that, that like sounds like she's doing good. So then she lied back down and she was doing good. Then she like turned, so her backside was out towards the barnyard, and we were in the barn. So I walked out around the barn the long way. And by the time I got over, she had the calf out.
She's like, quit watching.
Yep. So,
That's wonderful.
yep. So this one is a Highland Jersey cross, and then she's A2, which is cool, and it's a girl. So we'll have another
Another
milk cow.
heifer. That's
Yep.
awesome.
I wonder if it's gonna be like because the Highland they have a bunch of hair on them, right?
Yep. So she's hairy. She's all solid red. I know Cookie, when he was born, he had more hair on him than like a normal cow does. They come out a little bit hairier anyway. So it'll be interesting to see like if she keeps this coat, if it gets bigger or not.
Yeah.
I feel like she's got the legs of a Jersey. We didn't have so when we got Azalea and Cookie, Cookie was 2 weeks old. So we don't know like size wise comparison that way. But I feel like she's got the longer legs of a Jersey. She's got the shorter head of the Highland, I feel like. So it'd be interesting to see like a comparison as she's growing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then we loaded up Cookie and he went to the I'm gonna start calling it the abattoir.
Yeah.
Sounds more professional.
Abattoir. Yeah. Sounds French.
So he's been there for
Okay.
about a week now. So they hang the abattoir we took it to, they'll hang for 2 weeks. And then are depending on how big the cow is, but they said 2 weeks anyways, and it could be a little bit longer on how long it takes to dry age it. So
And he loaded up fine.
yeah, we were surprised. We were watching like the Cowboy Way or something like that this past winter. We were watching them, like how they load up their cows that they can't get in. They use the lasso, and then they'll put the lasso through the trailer rungs, and they'll tie it to their cow. I mean, until it tie it to their horse, and then they'll use the horse to pull the cow in. So Cookie can be stubborn a lot. So I'm like, okay, I had the lasso ready. I'm like, I don't got a horse. I'm like, but I got a side by side. We were ready to go, and he walked right in the trailer. I'm
Wow.
like, we were prepared for him to be a stubborn one, but he wasn't. So.
Yeah. So were you ready for him to go? Like, I mean, mentally, and you guys were, it wasn't like, were you guys like a sad day or?
No, and it worked out like because everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Azalea's gonna be sad. Brutus is gonna be sad." It worked out perfect because we had the calf 2 days before, so that was like when we were lining up the butcher day, we were trying to figure it out. So Azalea, we were hoping Azalea had her calf, but we didn't want to have Cookie for a long time with the new calf because he's kind of a bully, or he was a bully, I should say. So we were like, we don't want to have him around all the time. He was a typical Jersey bull temperament. He was not a friendly
Mm.
cow. So,
Yeah.
but we are very excited to try the meat and see how it tastes for sure.
I'm curious. I want to see if you have the same results we had.
Yeah. And to get it back and see how much we get. So he was a good size. When I brought him, there was a few other cows there, and he was bigger than the other cows that were getting butchered. So,
Should be good.
yep. Trying to think before I think we had years ago, we had Holstein. One of the bosses I worked for, he raised up a Holstein that he bought from a dairy farm. And we got some of that meat, and that meat was delicious. And that's what I've heard. I've heard of the dairy cows are a lot more flavorful, but you don't get as much meat as a beef cow. And the fat was a very orange, like a very like bright yellowish orange compared to like store-bought meat anyways.
Man, it's gonna be good.
Yep.
Gonna have to raise me up another dairy breed just for all that fat.
Right.
Man, we're like running low on tallow from that cow. Like I think we're actually out, honestly. What a sad thing to run out of.
Yeah.
So you guys, the towel lasted you a while then.
Well, let's see. We processed him about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So he was a fat boy. Like he
Was
had
he?
oh man, he had so much fat. And then, doing your cow yourself, there's a lot of fat around the organs that just gets thrown out with the guts.
Okay.
And I saved Jason was there. It was a whole meat lug full of just like fat, organ fat. we rendered that too. So I think we wound up with, I don't know, it was like 70 or 80 pounds of fat off that cow. And that was the stuff that we separated just for rendering as tallow.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've got the rest of our haying equipment. I've put that all together. So now I've been bringing it over, trying to get everything. We got what the tractor set over to the hay field. I got the round baler over. Tonight I just brought over the hay rake. So I gotta bring over the mower and the tedder. So driving a tractor on the road and then driving haying equipment on the road. That was new. I mean, just one of those things. It's like I looked it up afterwards, but it's like in our state, you're supposed to register your tractors and get license plates for them. I'm like, what? So I did that. And then I found out that I can register my side by side as a farm vehicle and I can drive it within 20 miles of the farm as long as we're doing farm stuff with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, okay, while I'm there, I'm gonna register this too. I think it's like 15 bucks a year for each tractor, and then like 25 bucks for the year for the side by side.
That's
So
That's
cool.
not bad.
that's kind of a cool little loophole. Like I can use you can register the side by side as a farm vehicle, and you can drive it just like a regular vehicle within 20 miles. So I'm like, I'm sure I'll get pulled over because I haven't seen anybody else do it, but it's the state law. So,
Yeah.
but
Hey, aren't you Al alumna?
I recognize you.
Why'd you pull me over? Because I was driving a side by side? No, I just thought it looked like alumni.
Or everybody will at least figure it out once they see the side by side. All the cops will know after they pulled me over once or twice. Mm.
Well, it does have a big old YouTube sticker in the back now.
That one doesn't yet.
Yeah.
Mm. I'll have to get it wrapped with like our logo on it so that way we can get the free advertisement when we're going down the road. Because
Oh
everybody will
no.
be looking like, how are they driving their side by side down the road legally? So, do you know if you guys got to register your tractors down there if you want to drive them on the road?
I don't think you have to register tractors, but I haven't looked into it.
Yep.
I've seen people drive side by sides on the road. I mean, I don't know if they're registered or not, but
Yep.
I've seen them driving up to like Lowe's
Really?
before. So I assume,
I know any side by sides I've seen that drive on the road, they have a little license plate on them. So I assume you have to register them if you're going to take them on the road.
Yep.
I know like golf carts, if you want to make them street legal, you have to put turn signals, headlights, and mirrors, I think is what you have to have.
The side by side had to have, that's what they asked. Like, does it have directionals, horn, mirrors, and all that stuff? In order to go down the road, you have to have all that. Which I just kind of think it's funny. A lot of states, even with that, they're not allowed. It's like it's a lot safer than a motorcycle.
That's true.
Like you can drive motorcycles down the road, but you can't a side by side,
heck yeah, these little tiny mopeds that people are driving.
right?
Man, these liquor sickles, they call
Yep. Yep.
them. I see them all the time. It's just so wild because ever since we moved to North Carolina, I was like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mopeds are a thing down here.
yeah,
That's the people who drive them are the ones who've lost their license forever. You don't need a license in North Carolina for the moped, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
Up here, you don't either. I think it's like under 50 cc or under 49 cc. You don't need a license for them. And I don't even think you got to register them.
That's crazy. I don't know why that is.
Yep. But a farm tractor, you do. I was like, what? Yeah. Like basically, if you're not registered, if you somebody hits you, even if it's not your fault, you're liable because you're not registered.
Hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I guess I better do that. So, oh, I did get something. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What is that?
Uh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know where this is going. All right.
I had to bring my milk just in case. I watched your video and the guy who made it said it was like pretty hot, and you're over here like, oh, it's mild.
It's mild. It's
But the
mild
guy who
hot
bought it, the
sauce.
guy who made it for you said it wasn't. So I'm gonna have to try it. I'm like, I'm gonna bring my milk.
Have you tried it yet?
Not yet. I just got it today. It just came in the mail.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna try it
Awesome.
live
I try it
tonight.
live.
Oh, this is gonna be good. At least you got some good chips to eat with it.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. I'll see how it smells. Have you tried it at all, Ben?
Actually, we're almost through the bottle.
You're
Uh,
almost.
like I've been eating that stuff on everything. Kind of like the Frank's Red Hot Sauce ads. I eat that stuff on everything.
So I sent Al a bottle for those listening. I sent Al a bottle of my hot sauce that I sold this week.
Smells good.
Now you don't typically eat hot sauce, Al, right?
No, never. I never use hot sauce.
Oh, you might need a bigger glass of milk.
I'll start off small.
All right. So I was gonna try his hot sauce. So
I gotta try my hot sauce. All right, I got just a little bit on the cover. Just a
I
little dab.
was taking one for the team.
Taking one for the team. I can see how it is. It smells good though. What did he say? He used, was it pear vinegar?
Pear vinegar, wild pear vinegar.
I think you can kind of smell that just in the.
You might need to take off your sweater, Al.
No, come on. At first, there's not much heat. So is it like the kick of the ghost pepper later on?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Let me see.
We'll put some more on. Let's see.
There is some ghost pepper, wild pear vinegar, shishito peppers, garlic, onion.
Which one did you grow?
The Buena Mulata peppers. They're like a purple pepper.
I'm kind of scared now because I had the first bit and it didn't bother me. So I don't want to get too cocky over here and have a big old spoonful of it.
Just take a shot of it.
Just drink it from the bottle, Al. You taste the heat yet?
A little bit. It's not bad though.
Yeah.
I
It's not
shouldn't say
bad.
it. It's got a good look. I can feel it now.
I
Takes
would
a
say
little
it's a
bit.
medium.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it on my eggs tomorrow.
Yes.
I like that.
Try it in eggs.
It's got some heat, but it's not terrible. The way the guy made it sound like, didn't he say it's like, oh, it's extreme?
I don't know. Did he say that?
He said something. And then you and Lorraine like, oh, it's like medium heat. I was like,
Like Lorraine, she doesn't like hot salsa at all. Like she doesn't. She does typically does not put it on her food. So, but she had that, and she says it's hot, but it's not like she usually can't tolerate any kind of spice. But
I don't think it's bad.
When I first opened that bottle, I guess I kind of put a lot, and like I thought it was hot, but maybe like a hot medium kind of hot. I wouldn't say it's about like Tabasco kind of hot. Like Tabasco's pretty consistently hot. If you put too much, it can really burn you. But
yeah,
this stuff, it's got really good flavor.
yeah.
It's really tasty.
Yep.
There's nothing else in it, so no sugar or salt or nothing.
Nothing added.
It's just it's just straight up ingredients like that. Yeah.
I gotta try
Well,
some more.
thanks for
I'm
trying it,
going,
Al. I
I'm going in
appreciate it.
again. I was expecting I'd be over here taking my sweatshirt off, down in my milk.
I was getting scared there for a minute.
I don't know what I was getting myself into. You guys love this stuff.
He's gonna get cocky and put a whole bunch on a chip and
I'm going.
like, whoo.
I still got my milk though, so we're good.
He hasn't drank it yet.
Just watch his ear color. If his ears flush red, then you know
I
he's
like
actually on fire.
sweating.
You know, that's great, man.
That's cool though. You got your own hot sauce,
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I mean, I was selflessly, I just wanted it for me.
right? So you're doing a bigger batch this year? Is that what you're planning on growing more peppers?
We are growing more, twice as more than we did last year. But we started those already, so still wasn't sure. Like, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know how good the hot sauce was gonna go. But yeah, twice as much. So I don't know when the next batch is gonna be. I don't know because it takes forever to grow these peppers. Um, and I'm hoping we could do another batch before the end of the year,
Okay.
but I'm not sure yet. Um, if not by the end of the year, then it's gonna have to be next year sometime. So it's just the way it is.
You're saying next year, like your whole greenhouse will be peppers. You'll have to get another greenhouse going,
Yeah, get a whole other high tunnel with nothing but hot peppers.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Uh, Yeah, it was fun creating it. With Duncan is his name. Um, yeah, super cool guy. He's very passionate about hot sauce, uh, which made it fun. Um,
That's cool.
but yeah, we just shipped out all the hot sauces today. So by
I
this
like the label.
podcast, yeah, yep, I designed the label, had that printed. That took forever, it felt like, but we got it done. Uh, I think I kept like six of these for myself.
And now you're wishing you kept more.
No, I mean I took out a few and I was like, oh, I should probably sell more because it like sold out and I was like, I have like a few more here. I should just put them on the site, so I did. But yeah, so that's what I was pretty much doing all week, just trying to sell these hot sauces and figure that out. I had this whole like kind of marketing plan going on, like in my head, like of what I'm gonna do, and then I just put out the video in like 30 minutes. It sold out, and I was like, I mean, even my Not, I mean, people look going on the website, they couldn't tell because the website was fine, but on my end, I could not log into my website. Like I don't know if it crashed or something, but it just like it was like error, 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 and I was like, I mean, it was like that for probably 3 hours.
Oh, jeez.
You were sold out and you still couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I couldn't even, not even like I have an app on my phone that you could go in, and even that was not working. Like none of it was working and nothing I could do. I log in, log out and all this. And then finally, a few hours later, like it popped on and I was like, oh, there it is. Um, I don't know why that was. I don't know if it was just a big giant coincidence or what, but
It's fun to watch when you do a release like that on the back end to see
hmm
how many people are on, like where because you can tell, like, do you use Shopify?
yeah,
You can see like where they're from and
right.
when people are just online, you can see which part of the world they're from, kind of thing. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, it's fun. Uh, Everybody from the United States bought, except one person from the UK bought. And I was like,
How
wow.
is that to do all the shipping for?
It wasn't bad. It
No,
was all kind of built in. I think shipping alone to the UK was like $30.
more than
Wow.
hot sauce.
I'm like, wow. You get extra stickers.
Right.
Yeah. So it was just cool. Like I was we were so happy about it that it actually sold. Because I mean, honestly, I thought it was gonna be not sold out like that, and we were gonna have like a bunch because I was gonna save some, like more than half, and not even put them on the site if it didn't sell out, and save it for the holidays.
Yep.
Like around Christmas time, I was like, I should probably save some for Christmas because that's when usually people buy stuff, for gifts and stuff. But it just kept selling and sold out. So I was like, let's just sell it all. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But so yeah, thanks everyone who bought that. Um,
It's
and
good.
Alice says it's good.
Scared.
So what else? So beginning of the week, a family came in and bought our last of the three piglets, or Cooney piglets. So they were fairly close by. One family was from Kentucky, and then this family was closer. No more piglets right now. Um,
So it's quiet on the homestead, or quieter, I should say.
yes, the mornings are a little bit more relaxed. Um, little less pigs screaming at me. Um,
I bet your feed bill is a little more relaxed too.
that too. Yep. A whole 5-gallon bucket of feed is lasting a little bit longer. Yeah. So
How
that
many did you have? Was it five or six
piglets,
piglets?
6.
Six. Okay. Yeah. It's a good amount that you don't have now in the homestead.
Yeah, for sure. So we're giving our Elvira or Mama Pig a little break. So yeah, we still have the three older pigs. We'll butcher them this winter, and then we still have the IPPs. We're gonna butcher them this winter too. So that's like 5 pigs right there.
Five pigs you'll be butchering. You're gonna be
Yeah.
busy. And you got what, 150 meat birds coming up to butcher
Yeah, we're gonna be butchering them this week.
this week.
Yeah, we'll be in it when this podcast is up.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, that should be fun. And then we got turkeys coming up they're coming next week. So busy, busy time of year. I mean, man, we keep going back and forth of like not doing pig, not breeding pigs. We've been talking about it for the last year or so. We're just like, kind of like, okay, we did it. Maybe we should just take a break. But I don't know.
I'm guilty of the same thing. Uh, I have decided not to breed guinea hogs for 2 years now, and we just keep changing our minds.
Did you breed them this year?
No, no, I'm pretty committed to it. I'm getting conditioned back on our old sows, and then we're gonna turn them all into sausage.
And
Mm,
then we
yeah.
just buy other pigs whenever you need buy piglets when you want to raise pigs kind of thing. You got to go to a different breed or
Eventually, I would like to get a bigger boar, like a Duroc boar or something like that. And I'm just gonna land race
Mhm.
pigs. I'll just cycle through the boars and stuff like that. But as for right now, I need to put in some infrastructure stuff up where I'm keeping the pigs. And I need the pigs out of the, can put fence in the woods, like a
Mm,
perimeter fence. So yeah, there's some stuff that's got to change before we get back into breeding pigs, especially pigs that'll get up to 600 pounds.
Yeah, that's a big pig.
yeah. I'll just let you breed them, Ben, and I'll just buy a few off of you.
That- that's what needs to happen. Like somebody needs to just like get some good big feeder pigs, and we'll just make sure, like Jason does the beef, I'll do the pork, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
That'd be a good trade-off.
If it wasn't for these gosh darn Cooney pigs, sure, they're so easy. They make it really enjoyable, actually. I mean, honestly. I mean, they're just so easy going. But man, I don't know. We go back and forth. It might be the season too. Like right now, when it's super busy, you start thinking these thoughts of let's just sell them all. Like,
I'm done.
yeah, I'm
Yep.
done. Like all these chickens, oh my gosh, they don't need to be fed right now. I can wait. I don't need to move another chicken. I don't need to move them twice a day, do I?
Now, are you getting any more meat birds this year, or is this 150 your last batch?
Mm, no, we have 60 more that I just put on grass today.
Okay.
And then we have turkeys coming. And then after that, I think, I gotta look. I think we have 60 more, then that'll be our last chickens.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So if nobody buys chicken from us, then we may never even raise chicken next year at all because we'll have so much in the freezer.
How many were in your first batch?
Uh, this year,
Yeah,
60,
60. Okay, so yeah,
60, 60, 150,
three something.
and then 60, another 60, and then 30 turkeys.
It's escalating, Jason.
I know, going
That's the real
crazy.
chicken math.
It really is. And they're all surviving.
Of course they are.
And they're all doing great.
Good problem, right?
Yeah. I thought I at least lose like more, but no, no, we're all good.
Did you ever think you'd butcher 300 plus chickens in a year when you started doing this?
Mm-mm. No, that maybe 25, 25 is good, because you don't really know how much chicken you eat
Hmm.
when you first start out, right? Like you just
Well,
buy in from the store like once a week, but you don't really know.
and then the other thing too, I like because we're always like, why we go through so much food, but it's like we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're working a normal 9 to 5 job or just living like the regular lifestyle. You don't eat 3 meals a day every day at your house. So you're not when you grocery shopping, you're not grocery shopping for that many meals. So I think
No,
that kind of makes a difference too.
no, I know. You just don't realize it until you're growing it. You're like, 25 chickens only last us like 4 months.
Yep.
It's like, dang. And then yeah, I remember the first year, I think we are still going to the store and buying chicken because we already went through all the chicken we raised. And then I was like, we need to do more chickens. I was like, it's kind of a shock almost
Yep.
because you just don't realize that. But
I remember the first time we told people like they're like, how many chickens you doing? I'm like 50. That's a lot of chickens. It's like that's like one a week. It's really
yeah.
not that much if you think of it that way.
Yeah, when you start thinking of it that you start to think of it that way, but at first you don't think of it like one a week.
You don't.
Then you have this light bulb moment where you're like, oh yeah, one a week. Okay, how many chickens do you eat in a year? And then you start doing the math and you're like, okay, this is how many we need.
Yeah, we usually go through probably two a week on average. What's your family go through a week, Ben?
It depends. We've been out of chicken for a while, but uh, I don't know. Back when we were eating whole chickens, it was easier to keep track of.
Yeah,
We piece out all of our birds now. So I don't know, probably 2 to 3 to 4, depending on the week
yeah,
and depending on what other meat we're out of. Like right now, we're really just about out of pork. So we're doing our meat birds this week. And I'm like, we're starting to talk about the meals. It's like, ooh, we get to make fried chicken sandwiches and all this stuff. So I don't know. We can stretch it to where it's like one bird a week, or
yeah.
we can enjoy having that kind of meat in the freezer and have chicken a couple nights a week. So I don't know.
Yeah. What else this week? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm just working on my gutter project. My latest gutter project of the barn of trying to get save water for our fruit trees. I finished that one today. Um, I still need the hookups to like the hose hookups and to how I'm gonna actually water the trees. But as far as it's hooked up to the gutter, there's a gutter and it's hooked up to the IBC tote. So now the next rain we get, it might be tonight, um, that it should save rain in there. And then from there, I need to figure out how I'm gonna water these trees. I'm thinking that some kind of drip system. I don't know. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, garden's still going good. Our high tunnel's growing good. I mean, Lorraine's really on top of things in the greenhouse. She's been going out there for first thing in the morning, at least an hour, just, you know, picking stuff and picking weeds. And I'm telling you that weed barrier, that landscape fabric that we put this year, psh, it's such a lifesaver.
Game changer, huh?
Yeah, there in no way we would still like we would have gave up already in our garden. Like I think this time last year we had given up because the grass and the weeds they just took over and it was just like forget it.
Yeah.
And this year it's so night and day that I mean it's great. I mean there's still weeds but they're not as much and it's more manageable and I mean I don't know. This is the way to go. I mean, if you don't have like a whole team or crew with you, like that's gonna go out there and that gets paid to pull weeds, like this is the only way to go, I would say, I would think.
I wonder, like, for you, if you'll need, like, how many years you'd have to use that to suppress because that was a really bad area for grass, right? Like, I wonder if, like, over like so many
Yeah.
years, like, you wouldn't have to do that anymore, or if it would just always be that bad,
Yeah, I don't know. You would think it would stop
right?
eventually. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think Farmer's Friend says that fabric, I think it's at 10 years. I think that's what they said. Like
Yep.
it lasts 10 years. Seems like a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Jason, is it raining cats and dogs at your house?
It's windy and it's very dark, but it's not, I don't think it's raining.
I can see it coming down your window, Ben.
Man, it's like pouring rain right now. Just like it's been sprinkling since before we started the podcast. Apparently the floodgates got opened up because it's coming down.
Yep.
No, I don't see it. I don't think it's raining. It might be sprinkling out there, but it's not like pouring. Maybe it's coming my way. Yeah, it's every night out. Thunder, lightning, and wind.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's just the Lord watering our gardens.
that's right. Just need to
Yeah.
take a break though, so we can make some hay.
Yeah. Sir, sir, I got my hay put up. Like let it rain.
I would
Good
like
to
like
go.
2 weeks straight to learn how to do all this hay, and we got quite a few acres to hay, so I'm assuming this year we won't get it all first cut.
You'd be surprised. It goes pretty quick. And I imagine it goes a lot quicker with machinery.
We got some decent. The part that's going to be the slowest is the mower. The mower is only 5.5 feet wide,
Oof.
but everybody that I've talked, I wasn't gonna buy this one, and then the guy I bought the round baler from, he was like, "Oh, have you seen this one?" I'm like, "Yeah, I actually went and looked at it." I'm like, "But it's only 5.5 feet wide," and he's like, "But you can mow fast compared to." He's like, "If you buy like a 10 foot wide old hay bine, he's like, you're gonna be mowing like 2 miles an hour." He's like, "This one you can go like over, you can go like six probably." So I guess we'll figure out. We got my tedder's 19 feet.
That's a big tedder.
Yep, and then the hay rake is 21 feet. So that's kind of like my goal is it'll be slow mowing, but then I'm hoping after that I'll be able to pick it up. But
You doing some drone shots?
I don't know yet. We'll have to see. I'm looking forward to it. A little nervous on the same time, but
Yeah,
You'll do all right. At the end of the day, the grass gets cut.
right. Grass gets cut, hopefully get it baled and get it put away. And I'm hoping we get a locksmith. We can use it for bedding and everything this year.
that'd be good. Okay, I think it's pouring down now.
There you go.
I gotta go check my new gutter. So cool, we'll leave it there, and we'll have to wait till next week. Yeah, next week's 2 years.
2 years.
That's wild.
It is.
I don't know what we'll do, but Al, thank you for trying the hot sauce. I appreciate it. You too,
It's
Ben.
good. Glad for
Man, thanks for the hot sauce. It's been much loved here. I'm
I'm,
sad to see it go.
I wish I had
I have
more.
I have breakfast burritos every morning. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna put some on the
Ooh.
breakfast burrito and
You got to. That'd be
see how
perfect for
it
that.
is. Right.
Get you hooked on hot sauce, Al.
You might. We'll find out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching this podcast. We really appreciate it, and hope everyone has an awesome week.
Have a good week, everyone.
Later, everybody.